It's my pleasure and honor to serve as the president of the association. This is my first year. I'll be stepping down next year. So I'll probably, by the end of my term, I'll probably know as the pandemic president, right? So you guys didn't see me taking over the power last year. We canceled the whole thing. And we have a small gathering today. And then next year, I'll be stepping down. So Dr. Hong Lu will take it over. All right. So first, I have a number of things to go over with you guys. So our activities happened this year. So first, I want to introduce our board here. So besides me, I have Hong Lu here. For those board members who joined us online, yeah, Hong is waving. I don't know if you can see her. So Hong is waving. And then I have Lu Ye as our treasurer. Lu Ye waving, thank you. And Xiaojin here. I saw Xiaojin somewhere. All right. And then Dr. Mo Jiang and Jessica.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Okay. And then finally, we have Kai Lin, Dr. Lin here with us. So those are our board members. I do want to very quickly, sincerely express my gratitude to all board members. We have been working hard throughout the semester, not the semester, the whole year, as a matter of fact. So I missed all those meetings we did throughout the year. As you can imagine, I'm sure you guys all have the experience of being overwhelmed by those Zoom meetings, right? And Zoom, on one hand, really makes things easier to communicate online, but on the other hand, I'm sure sometimes you feel like just too many meetings and too much work as a result. So we did a lot of meetings throughout the year, and then I listed most of the things that we emphasize throughout our meeting. So I will not repeat everything here, just kind of highlight a number of things. For example, during our first meeting, we talked about finally we made a decision to change our membership fee due date to a fixed date. We used to have a rolling basis. Lu Ye can talk more about that. And then we decided to form an ad hoc committee, special committee, to work on the teachment policy. Evan chaired that committee. I'll turn to Evan later. And then the second meeting, we made important decisions. For example, like the student paperwork, we decided to change it to rename it to Jiang Outstanding Student Paperwork. For those who know the history, we used to have the donation from 3 scholars. Dr. Jiang led that group. That money went out already. So Dr. Jiang made another generous donation to our association to make the student paperwork available continuously. So we would like to acknowledge Dr. Jiang's donation contribution. And then after talking to him, we decided to rename the work to Jiang Outstanding Student Paperwork. So a number of other things we can highlight later. Oh, by the way, notice during the second meeting, we have Dr. Liu join us, gave us a special introduction on the network he's working on. So I just want to use that as an example. Our meetings are all open to all members. It's not just board members. All members are welcome to join our meeting. You don't have the power to vote on the issues, but you do have the right to observe our meeting, express your opinions, share with us your ideas and suggestions, and so on and so forth. Right? So we held other meetings as well as I listed here, and then I'll go over some of them one by one next. So the next item up in our activities is the workshop we done at the Zhejiang University. I do want to greatly emphasize that the contribution idea from Dr. Ying Hu from Zhejiang University Law School, and it is his initiative to reach out to me, and then we work out this workshop together, and then we cover that with 9 people last year. So I listed all those members here. Each of us covered 2 hours of altogether 9 sessions. We pulled in 27 Chinese renminbi, and which turns out to be over 4,000, little over 4,000 US dollars. So that is great contribution to our association. Our sessions really try to cover many different topics. We chose a textbook, and then we talked with a student from Zhejiang University online at the scores of students, 60, 70, 80 students joined our sessions. And so it was a great success. good news is we are invited to do it again. So we are doing the second round this year. So that is something we will be able to report next year. So we successfully held our first online conference earlier this year due to the fact that our AIC meeting was canceled last year. So we decided to do this online conference. It was a great success as many of you participated online. And then I have many people who helped me, right? Not only those organizing committee members, but also those volunteers, Chief and Lee. I don't know if they join us online today. And so Kevin as well. Kevin here? Kevin Wong. You didn't come, okay. So we held 9 events on 3 days. We had 2 guest speakers, Dr. Sherman, Dr. Bransworth. If you haven't watched their talk, we do have YouTube recordings for people who watch their talks. And it served many purposes, and Luria would actually increase our members, total numbers members, because of this conference. Luria can talk more about that. Afterwards, we also did a number of things trying to document the success of our online conference, including, I'm going to highlight here Dr. Jianhua Xu. Jianhua, are you joining us online next year? You can wave to others if you join us online. Jianhua and his student put together a report, and they got the report published with the police science research in Chinese, Acccj. And then I have Dr. Lin and Dr. Lu, they worked with three students, and then documenting their experience, finally got it published in our newsletter. So all of the great efforts are great ways to document our progress with the conference, and then in that way to lead something we can share in the future, right? This is the sad news this year. In January, we lost a dear friend, Dr. Xiaogang Deng, who was a founding member, who served in the first board of this association. Unfortunately, passed away due to, I would say, almost a long time fight with cancer. He was diagnosed with cancer for quite some time. There were hopes. There were many occasions, including 2 years ago at AIC, we tried to cheer him up through our unique ways, but unfortunately, he passed as a result. As soon as we learned the news, we sent our condolences to his family, and then we decided to do this commemoration for Dr. Deng and in our newsletter. So we have a number of people I highlight here: Dr. Sheldon Deng, Dr. Liu, Luning is here, and then Dr. Lu and Dr. Simon Singer. All of them made contributions, wrote pieces about Dr. Deng in person, and then many others, also I didn't name all of them, shared photos and pictures that they had with Dr. Deng in the previous years. So that was a great way to memorize our dear friend and founding member of our association. The latest, thanks for Li Chun. I learned that from Li Chun. They were able to make a deal with UMass Boston, and they made a chair, special chair, to commemorate Dr. Deng. So the next up is this. Probably some of you are aware of this. Due to the emergency situation in the U.S., the board decided to adopt actually the very first official statement of our association. We have never done such an official statement, but we did. We decided to do it. Thanks to Dr. Bo Jiang, who was the principal author of the statement, and with his help, with his leadership, we dropped this official statement. We circulated the statement to all members and asked for opinions and input, finalized it, and then finally published the official statement in April, and it is available on our official website. I also want to quickly highlight, to go along with the situation here, we have Dr. Wu, Dr. Sun, and Dr. Xie. They wrote a piece published recently with the criminologists. So it's a great way to put those together to emphasize on the emergency situation in the U.S. It is our obligation, also is our expertise to talk about those issues very much relevant to our mission of our association. You know, the summer dedication this year was canceled again. This is the second cancellation, 2 years in a row indeed. We didn't do it last year due to the pandemic. we couldn't do it this year. To be honest, I don't know what's going to happen next year. So it depends on whether China, Taiwan, and the others will lessen the restrictions on travel. It was, for those who participated our summer dedication before, it was such a special event to tie our own expertise and experience with institutions and research groups and scholars in China and Taiwan and Macau and Hong Kong, like many other places. It was irreplaceable in a way, but unfortunately, again, due to concerns about the pandemic, we were not able to do it last year. We couldn't do it this year. This may continue for a longer term. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Jiang Outstanding Student Paper Award. Again, our gratitude to the general donations by Dr. Jiang. So we rename it to Jiang Outstanding Student Paper Award. So I'm going to turn to Jessica, who chaired the special committee. Jessica can comment on the work of the committee this year very briefly and announce officially the winner. Xiao Shuang is there. We have already announced it publicly, but today is the ceremony to give her the prize properly. So I'm going to turn to Jessica to say a few words first.
Okay. Now is my time, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Hello, everyone. Yes, it's good to see so many familiar and smiling faces. So today here, I'm so pleased to announce the Jiang Outstanding Student Paper Award. And the winner is Luo Xiaoshang, coming from the Department of Criminology, Law and Society, University of California, Irvine. So now we can have the presentation, right?
Yes. All right. So Xiao Shuang, please come forward.
Congratulations.
Award first. I think this is probably more important than the money award, but so I think the tradition is for me to take a picture with Xiao Shuang, the winner, together being the president, and then Xiao Shuang can take her own individual picture, so without me being apologize, my nose messed up.
So
could Xiaosong also wave to the Zoom camera? So we can see your pretty face, Xiaosong.
All right.
Okay, whenever you can take a screenshot.
Wait a second.
Yeah, actually it's my second time to get an award. I'm really actually grateful for our association. I feel like it's a family to me, and also I think to many of us. So I hope like more and more students, especially grad students around the world, can join our association, and then we can grow up together and as a family.
Thank you. So we can go back to my report. I have a few more items to share with you guys. Thank you, Jessica. All right, so move on. This is one of the things we did this year special. I'm going to just comment very briefly on the background, and then I'll turn to Dr. Sun, who chaired the special committee and talk about the work of the committee. So in our bylaws, we do have brief message about impeaching board members, but there's no details at all. And we also, in our bylaw, we also have brief message about removing general members. That's you guys, right? Okay. So if you misbehave, and then you're potentially facing a removal. And so we don't have any detailed policies regarding both. So as a result, we decided to adopt a supplemental policy. So we created this special committee chaired by Dr. Sun. So great work indeed. I'm going to turn to Dr. Sun to comment on the committee work briefly, and then we'll move on.
I don't really have much to add, but thanks my committee members, Wu Xiaoshuang is here, Wang Ruijie, Wang Shuiyou, and Zhao Qingwei. They did a good job. My job is just coordinate their efforts and through to the board, and the board was very supportive. I think we need that piece of legislation or rules. I hope we will never have to use it, right? But in case we have something in place. We're ready.
So thank you very much. So, okay. I do want to mention that I have absolutely no intention to be the first victim of this impeachment policy of the years like yesterday. Well, as Ivan mentioned, our association is doing really well. In my personal opinion, we have been growing in the last 11 years now. And but you all know when an association is growing to a large, with large number of people, members, a lot of things could happen. So if that's the case, we do need those policies in place to give people a fair chance, opportunity to defend themselves as well. It's not only to take actions to remove people who do wrongdoings, but also give them a chance to defend. All right, so that is the impeachment policy here. Move on to the newsletters. We do have 2 issues of newsletters for our tradition. The first one was already published. And if you haven't read that one, I would suggest you to encourage you to go ahead and read it. A lot of information there, including commemoration of Dr. Deng, right? Including, actually, I wrote a piece about the passing of Dr. Roger Hu as well. So a lot of information in those newsletters. Thanks to all contributors of the newsletters. We need your good news to come in and we can share together. So keep sending those good news or anything that you want to share. And then we have the second issue coming up very soon. Dr. Lin will be working on it. Web maintenance is part of our routine as well. We have Dr. Chen from the board who has been working on the web maintenance in the last 2 years. So we are, one thing we probably need to do more with new board. After today's election, we will have the new board. And then with new board, one thing we will do next year is to probably further improve our web designs. So if you notice anything that you have any suggestion about how to improve our web, let me know or send it to any other board members. We will be more than glad to visit those issues and then hopefully integrate those ideas into our method of rebuilding the web, official web. Election. So election this year, I'm going to hold the result to Dr. Jiang. Dr. Jiang is going to talk about the results. Dr. Jiang is the chair of the Acccj committee. And I do want to quickly just take this opportunity to mention that 2 of our current board members, Dr. Chen Xiaojin and Dr. Jessica Lee, they are going to rotate off. So they successfully and finished their term of 2 years. So thank you very much both, and we are going to miss you. Welcome back anytime, right? So it is the time to celebrate, but also it is time to look forward. I will hold on to the result for Dr. Jiang to deliver later. 10-year anniversary celebration. So I do want to say that, again, given the interruption of the pandemic, we were anticipating a grand celebration with all our members. I think 10 years, it's not too long, but it's not short either. So our association has not only survived, but also thrived, in my personal opinion, in the last 10 years. Just look at those people, right? You guys are all heroes, made it here. And yeah, we joined outside, right? And also those people who joined us online. It's just beautiful. And so we are going to do more celebrations. So what I did here was to list those ideas we generated, how to celebrate our 10-year anniversary properly. Some of the ideas we have already materialized, right? So for example, a number of things we accomplished. We successfully did that special issue under the leadership of Dr. Bill Hamilton, our last president, and then with several other editors, Hong Lu, Li Chun, and Jonathan Lee. And so they actually did a lot of work into the special issue. So we had this special flag, not to share. I forgot to bring the flag 2 years ago, but I did. So I do have this our official flag here. Let's show that. Yeah. Feel free to take pictures with the flag after our general AGM is over. Let's flip around and see show it to those people who join us online. Yeah. All right. So those are the things we accomplished, and we have. I want to thank to the ad hoc committee members. Dr. Shi had to left earlier, but all of those members, Xiaoshuang, Xie Min, and Guo Fei, who we last 2 years, which is like a lot of work on them, right? So we unfortunately with the interruption, the uncertainty whether we're able to meet in person, went online, a lot of things going on, but they never give up. They continue to work with us and build things in. So I do want to thank those committee members myself personally. We did have a fundraising ad hoc committee. I was the chair, but I had great committee members. I will take the blame myself, and we sort of tabled on this issue and didn't make much progress. So I will take the personal blame here. Part of the reason is, as I showed you guys, we weren't able to pull in some money from the workshop we offered. So that actually eased the concerns about finance in our association. So we tried a number of things. I sent donation letters, drafted with our committee members here. I sent them to Bill Gates, all those big names. I actually got a letter from Bill Gates Foundation, rejected me, but so good to have a letter, right? So, but anyway, again, I'll take the blame. We stopped halfway. We didn't stick to it. So we may pursue more down the road with the fundraising. Number of things we will be doing in this year and more, maybe next year or the years coming, depends on the situation again. We will properly acknowledge our great achievement in the last 10, 11 years now. By next year, it will be 12 years. We will keep generating ideas. You will see probably more ideas from us. We will ask your voluntary participation, help us documenting our growth over time, right? So hopefully we'll make it fun. Hopefully we'll make it memorable as well. So do stay tuned, right? So help us out when you're called to participate. So we also want to acknowledge outstanding services by our members. So that is something we will be doing today specifically. So this will be a continued base, and then we will revisit that. Peter was asking about, do we have gifts for everyone? Yes, we do, right? We will have gifts for everyone, but not this year. Sorry, not for this year. You have to join us next year, which means, right? If we meet in Atlanta next year, we have been talking about different ideas about gifts, and so, given the small turnout this year, we thought it's not the proper year to do all the gifts, and so we're going to hold on to that till next year. Banquet, we will have a dinner tonight, right? So it will be covered by our association. So if you do join us for tonight for the dinner, then you will see. So we have the instructor will announce the place after today's meeting. We can walk over and then enjoy our dinner, enjoy our conversation afterwards. Right? All right. So I do want to appropriately acknowledge this is one thing we try to document is all those people who participated in our various ad hoc committees, right, over the last 10, 15 years. The names here are partial in the sense many of the board members participated in the ad hoc committees as well. So we don't include them here. They will be acknowledged in separate slides about the past board members. And I am afraid, as a matter of fact, we may have missed one or two, or even maybe more ad hoc committee members. So just call out. If you have served as an ad hoc committee member, but you have never served as a board member, please do reach out to us, right? Let us know. We're going to properly document your contribution as an ad hoc committee member in the last 10, 15 years. So thank you guys. Our association strives with the voluntary service of the board members, and not only board members, but all those general members as well, right? Without participation of the members, we can't be where we are today. Forthcoming, this is my last slide for my president's annual report, and then I'll turn to Luye for her financial report. So ACCJ meeting next year in March will be held in Las Vegas. Sounds like we have going to have a great turnout there. So I'll talk to home. We may host more celebration in Las Vegas. So that will be in March next year. And then a year from today, we will be in Atlanta for 2022 ASC meeting. Again, we are planning, if everything moving towards the right direction, hopefully pandemic is over, we are going to plan more bigger celebration. So that's the thing. Thank you, everyone. And we have those great news, made great progress. Keep it up, right? So hopefully see you guys next year. So I'm going to turn to Luye for her financial report. If you have any questions for me, wait until we are finished. I'll answer your questions. For those who join me online, feel free to send me your questions from chat. I will address your questions once we have finished her financial report. So without further ado, I'm going to turn to Luye.
Hello, could you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. Thank you, Dr. Liang Bing. And now it's my time. I'm Luye Li, the treasurer of ACCJ. What you see on the screen is our 2021 financial report. So the most important thing I put at the first is the balance sheet. This table shows us what we spend last year and what we deposit in our bank account. So let me walk you through this slide. On the top, you can see in last year, on November 16th, we have the balance in our bank account, which is $10,523.55. And this table divided into two parts. The first part is deposit, so how much money we deposit in our bank account. And the second part is about withdrawal. So what are those costs? How much money we spend in different items? So most important income, or we say deposit, is membership fees. In last year, we collect $1,960 membership fee. And I especially want to mention that we welcome the new life members into our association family who are Dr. Chen Vincent Xin, Dr. Kai Ling, and Dr. Siyu Liu, and they all contributed to our this number 1,960, and life member would be $300 right now. And the second big part is from the financial contribution from the social science research method workshops. Like Dr. Liang Bing said, well, this is a big deposit. And from the Zhejiang University, we have 9 faculty members from this association and give workshops to law students from Zhejiang University through online, through Zoom. So they do work hard because we have to get up very early in the morning to give the class to mainland China students. And well, this is also bring us the reward. It gives us a big deposit, $4,169.90. The second part is withdrawal, which shows how much money we spend and what items we spend on. First is a fee to PayPal. I believe some of you has already known this. So when we receive the membership fee from the PayPal, we did not, as an association, we did not receive the full amount. For example, student membership fee is $10, but as an association, we only receive $9.16. There would be a very small portion we have to pay to PayPal as a platform to collect the membership fee. In previous years, so we consider this as a necessary cost. And another item, the second item would be the Student Paper Award plaque and the check from 2020. And the winner, Yunran Zhang, also joined us tonight because we did not have the AGM in the 2020. So we present this award online in December. This is why this cost fall into this reporting year. And another big spending is we renewed the domain services. Some of you has already know we need both of those platform to maintain our good standings as a website, acccj.org. We need both of those platform, those domain to work and to have the normal operation of the website. So we renew those two domain services to 2024. And we also send flowers to Dr. Xiaogan Deng's family, and we give the honorary $200 to Dr. Lawrence Sherman, who gave us a keynote speech in the first ACCJ online conference. One thing it deserves a mention is that Dr. John Braithwaite very kindly declined our honorary and would like to use this money to contribute to our association. So this is why we only see one honorary to sending out. And also we have the this year Student Paper Award, the plaque, the Xiaoshuo holding the plaque, the cost here, and including the very nice gift to the 5 previous presents, all of you are about to see. And all of those spending come to $2,091.37. Now this is a screenshot of the ACCJ bank account. I only show this once a year, but those slides would be available online, through our website. So any members can check those slides, financial report, and could raise questions about those spendings and deposit if you ever have any questions. So this is the line chart you can see here. I think this is give us a very good general sense of how we spend this monies and how the balance changed over time. And I believe your attention immediately focus on the large elevation here, right? Because this is so appealing to see here, and it reads so high at the level. So I want to mention this big elevation is from the payment we received from the Zhejiang University Law School because we have those massive workshop, and it raised $4,000. This is why we can see this big raise, and I'm very glad to say. Equal to Dr. Liang Bing said, we will see the second round of such big amount deposited in our balance. And for those very small raise here, we have three small raise here from our life members' contribution from Dr. Chen Xing, Dr. Kai Ling, and Sui Liu. And some big job here, you can hear a normal spending every year from the Student Paper Award. And some small dips here, you can see we send flowers to Dr. Xiaogan Deng's family, and honorary we're sending out. Next, I would like to talk about our Student Paper Award Fund. So starting from 2020, we have already used up all of the Jianglan Wang Award Fund. So you can see it already dropped to 0. And since this year, we will use Dr. Shanghe Jiang's kind donation to this award account. We have $1,000. So after tonight, for next year's award, we will have $800 left in this award fund. Because as usual practice, the winner of the award would receive $300 check from the association. Among those $300, $200 from this award fund, and $100 is from our association fund. So this is how we come to this $300 prize for the student award. Next thing is about our tax filing. So I file the tax for our association in the past March. As you know, we are non-profit organizations and we are tax-free at the federal level. In order to maintain this good tax status, we need to file tax filing every year, and we already accept this filing is successfully accepted. So our tax status are good. And next March, I will also filing the tax for the association. Next, I would like to talk about the membership. So currently we have 81 active membership. And among this number, we've already have 44 life members. And I'm glad to know, and on site, we also have a new life members after today's meeting. So this will bring us to 45 life members. And last year, at the same time, last year, November 16th, we have 79 members. Why I put these numbers here? Because I want to do some comparison, and I want to mention how the first ACCJ online conference really broadened our publicity. Because during that time, I believe in January 16th to 18th, we see a big increase of our the number of our members. And I believe this is a historical peak. We reached 123 members of our association. So compared to those active members, we increased 56%. I believe this is a historical peak, but I do not know the history as many of you has already know. So correct me if I am wrong. I do believe this is a historical peak. And in previous years, we rarely reached 100 members for our association. And I also want to mention among those 44 new members renewed during the first online conference, a quarter from students from Macau and 18% students are from Hong Kong. This we must thank our faculty members from Hong Kong and Macau, because you good influence and kind advertisement, so we can see so many student members join us. And 11% students and the faculty from mainland China. The majorities are from the United States, some of them also from UK, Canada, and Australia. And those students and faculties from mainland China, UK, Canada, and Australia are the presenters of the first online conference. So last thing as a very important notice. So starting from this year, 2021, ACCJ annual membership will always expire on November 1st every year. And this decision has received approval from the current board. We do this way because this would be much more easier for the management of the membership. And also we could collaborate with annual election and AGM every year. And I will send the reminder for membership renewal on October 15th, November 1st, and 1 week before the AGM every year. So to reminding members to renew, annual members to renew their membership. And if you have any questions about the expiration date, you can always go to the website to check. So go to the ACCJ.org and choose members and log in with your credentials, and you can see your membership expiration date. And again, life members are always have active status. And also I will issue the receipt of payment when I receive any membership renewal. So you can also check the receipt when would be the expiration date. But again, the annual membership will always expire on the November 1st. And that's all. I will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have, and this slides will be available online. Thank you.
We're going to turn to the audience and see if there are questions from the audience, either on site or questions online. So we will be happy to answer any questions. Yes. I thought it's next year.
Next year.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. I wish it's not Atlanta. But, okay. Any other comments or questions? All right, so let's move on to the next thing. I'm going to turn to Dr. Bojiang to announce the final result for this year's selection. Not selection, election. And selection.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, good evening, President and Professor Liang and colleagues. On behalf of the Elections Committee, I'm very pleased to announce to you the results of the Acccj 2021 online elections. Our committee is, I'm the chair of the committee, and I'm assisted by Xinyi Situ from Maryland, Sishi Wu from Albany, and Yunan Zhang from COHK. It should be worth noting that this is the second time that Ms. Wu, Shishi Wu, she's serving on the elections committee, and yeah, we are very grateful to her, to her help during these 2 years. I would like to start off by sharing with you the methodology that we have adopted for this 2021 online election. On October 17, we sent out the call for nomination email to the Acccj Google list, the listserv, and we received 2 nominations, Professor Vincent Cheng from the Open University of Hong Kong, and Ms. Luo Xiaosheng, who is from the University of California, Irvine. On November 6, we sent out email with the 2 candidates' campaign material, which consists of a short bio and a video and e-ballots to the Acccj Google List server. To reduce non-response bias from eligible voters who received the ballot and the campaign materials in mainland China, but who were unable to vote due to technical issues with using Google and other technical challenges that they have encountered, our team contacted them through WeChat, email, and telephone calls, so that they have alternative means to reach out to us to cast their votes. And we created the paper form survey, which is a substitute to the ballot, and this can be accessed in China without having to use the VPN. And we also accepted votes via email. So this is a screenshot of the paper form survey that we have sent out to the eligible voters in mainland China who were unable to use Google. So our team tested it and it worked. Yeah, so we tested it without using a VPN access in China, and this worked successfully. Moving on to the data, we received 48 responses from those who used the Google form, and we removed 1 testing vote, which is done by me, 1 vote from a non-active member who did not renew his or her membership before the due date, before the deadline for the voting. And there were 2 duplicates. And after removing these items, we have 45 legitimate votes that remained. Of these votes, 7 voted for Cheng only, and Law only 8 votes, and Cheng and Law 29 votes. And all together, so we have 36 votes for Cheng and 37 votes for Law. 1 member from mainland China voted by email and paper form survey, and there was no write-in. So we have 45 from the Google form and 1 from who voted by email. Moving on to the results. So the response rate is 45 plus 1 is 46, and we currently have 79 active members. So the response rate is 58%. It's not too bad in our opinion, because this is the same as the US national average for the 2016 US presidential election. So it's not too bad, 58% response rate. So the next 2 questions that we ask ourselves looking at these results is that, are there any systematic differences between eligible voters who have voted and those that did not vote? That means, if there are any systematic difference between the 46 and the 31. The second question that we ask ourselves is that, are US eligible voters more likely to vote compared with non-US eligible voters? To answer the first question, so here we provide a table that shows the breakdown of voters by geographic region. So as can be seen in here, we have 47 voters from the US, 47 members from the US, 34 voted, 13 did not vote. So the percent who voted is 72%. From mainland China, we have 12 active members. Only 2 voted, 10 did not vote. So the percent who voted is 17%. And from China, Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, we have 15 active members. And of these, 9 voted and 6 did not vote. Australia and UK, we have 5 members, 3 voted and 2 did not vote. So looking at the percentage of those who have voted against those who did not vote, we can see that there are systematic differences between the 46 and 31 because the percentages in these 2 columns are pretty different. Next, the next question that we ask is, are US eligible voters more likely to vote compared with non-US eligible voters? So in this 2x2 contingency table in here, so in here it shows whether the voter is US 1 and 0 and whether he or she voted 1 and 0. And from here, we can see that US eligible voters are 1.6 times more likely to vote compared with non-US eligible voters. And this risk ratio is statistically significant at the 2% level when we take 34 divided by 47 and take this divided by 14 divided by 32. So the differences is 1.65 times. So looking forward, what are the implications for future elections outreach? As we could see in here, US eligible voters are 65% more likely to vote compared to those who are not from the US. So in terms of the future elections committee, in terms of outreach, I think more efforts should be spent in reaching out to those eligible voters and our active members who are not based in the US and increase their participation in terms of voting. Next, here is the breakdown in terms of the number of votes by day and cumulative counts. So we can see that about on the left axis is the number of votes, and on the right axis it shows the cumulative votes counts percent. So what we can see is that we started the online election, the online election on November 5th, and November 6th is the first day. So we can see that for November 6th, just one day alone, we received 14 votes, or approximately 33 or 35% of all of the votes. So we can see that the first day and the last 2 days, during these 3 days, we received the most votes, whereas somewhere in the middle, people, we are not receiving that many votes as compared to the first day and the last 2 days. And looking at the number of votes by hours of the day, right, from 12 a.m. to 11 p.m., we can see that most of the votes that we receive are around lunchtime during the afternoon and during the evening from 9 p.m. to around 11 p.m. So during these hours, we received the most votes. And finally, the final outcome is that Vincent Cheng received 37 votes, Luo Xiaoshuang received 38 votes from a total of 46 valid ballots. Among those who voted, both candidates received over half of the valid ballots, and they shall resume their respective positions upon the board's approvals. With these notes, I would like to congratulate Dr. Cheng, Vincent Cheng, and Ms. Luo Xiaoshuang to join our board for the coming year. And I would like to invite Ms. Luo to give a few words. Ms. Luo, please.
Thank you for Dr. Wu's, Jiang Wu's introduction here. I do want to quickly point it out, Xiaoshuang also set a new record. She is the very first student board member. So we never had a student board member. In terms of policies, students are eligible to run for board members, however, not for officers. Officers are including president, president-elect, and the treasurer. So they cannot serve on those three positions, but otherwise, they are eligible to run for board members. So Xiaoshuang is the very first student.
I have mentioned in my campaign video, I really received tremendous help from our association. That's why I think I want to take my time to serve our community, to make our community really go around the globe. And I really hope like more and more like scholars, not only from the US, but also from anywhere can join us and know what we're doing. We're doing really fantastic jobs, and we want to like, let everyone know our association. Thank you, and
So we are moving on to the last item, agenda item of today's agenda, which is the 10-year celebration. We have two things specifically arranged. By the way, we are behind with our schedule, unfortunately, so it may take a little bit longer than we anticipated. So first thing first, we created the very first President Service Award. So this award is to honor the work and acknowledge the great work done by people who made significant contribution to our association based on their outstanding service, right? So by using the term President Service Award does not mean it will be limited to just the president. So those who have worked hard with our association, you are eligible for that award in the future. Having said that, this year we're going to honor the 5 past president of our association in the past. So what we decided to do is we're going to go in that order. We have our first founding president, Dr. Cao, and I have our board member, current board member, to properly introduce each of the awardees, and then we have the award waiting here. So I'm going to turn to who is going to introduce Dr. Cao. Oh, sorry. Is it Xiaojin? Xiaojin, are you there? Okay.
Hello, everyone. I thought it's okay. Well, it's so happy to see everybody. I was supposed to be in Chicago, but I think everybody knows we had a kind of a small problem in New Orleans. We had a Hurricane Ida, and then because of that, you know, all the schedules kind of all messed up, so we have to stay at home. Anyway, so I think I'm the first one to introduce Dr. Cao. Everybody knows. I think everybody knows Dr. Cao, so I will just go through them very briefly. Dr. Cao Liqun is a professor of criminology and sociology at Ontario Tech University. Got a PhD from the sociology program at the University of Cincinnati. He has published premier journals like Criminology, Justice Quarterly, Policing, and Social Forces, and he is an internationally renowned scholar in Asian study, criminological theory, policing, and the race and the ethnicity studies. Dr. Cao is one of the founder of Acccj and its inaugural president from 2010 to 2012. He oversaw the initial setup of the key operations within the organization, from its registration, application for federal tax exempt status, passage of the bylaws, the newsletter, to the thematic panels at the American Society of Criminology. Moreover, he worked tirelessly to advocate for Acccj through soliciting individual and institutional memberships and networking with individuals and institutions across various regions and continents. And his leadership and commitment to making Acccj more inclusive will have a long-lasting impact on the association's future. So I think we all know Dr. Cao has contributed enormously to the field of criminology and to ACCJ. But what impresses me most, beyond what his contribution to the field and to the organization is multiple people told me, so I want to say that is how in the last 15-20 years he became he becomes a ageless god. 15 years ago, when I met him, he looks like somebody who is in his early 40s, and now he still looks like he's around the age of early 40s, and I am 50 something. So, well, without further ado, so I think I'm going to give you
take over here and
now. Please come here.
And if you want to say something, this is the moment.
Thank you.
Well, actually, I think it's video.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you for giving this award to me. I feel quite honored and quite pleasant surprise with this gift.
Maybe you want to try this way.
Well, thank you for your nice words about me.
All right. Here's the mark. Right. Second in order, we have Dr. Jiang Shanhe, and I believe who is going to introduce Dr. Jiang properly.
All right, it's me again. Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to present Dr. Shanhe Jiang's President's Service Award tonight. Dr. Shanhe Jiang is Professor of Criminology at Wayne State University with a PhD from Sociology at the University of Albany, SUNY. Professor Jiang is a prolific scholar and widely known for his studies on public attitudes towards the police, community corrections, and the death penalty. Professor Jiang stepped into the president role from 2012 to 2014. President Jiang organized and coordinated the first ACCJ summer delegation trip to mainland China and Macau in 2014. While this summer delegation's primary goal involved research, teaching, and mentoring, it also facilitated a more personal connection between ACCJ members and members of the host universities, resulting in meaningful collaborations among individuals and institutions. Professor Jiang also launched the Outstanding Student Paper Award to recognize excellent original scholarly works from students involving issues related to the Great China and comparative research. With his generous financial donations, the award was named the Jiang Lan Wang Outstanding Student Paper Award in 2015. And then since this year, renamed the Jiang Outstanding Student Paper Award. Numerous students, faculty members, and institutions have benefited from these programs that President Jiang organized. For that, we thank President Jiang's leadership, vision, and generosity. I also received the Jiang Lan Wang Outstanding Student Paper Award twice from Dr. Jiang's hand. And so it's truly my pleasure to have this opportunity to present his award tonight. Congratulations, Dr. Jiang, for your service and your award. Mask off.
Yeah, this is a surprise. You guys, the board did a good job. It didn't let us know any information about this. And also, I thank you, Louis, and the wonderful words. I didn't think I'm that good. Anyway, it's very happy about our organization growing, and we have a variety of activities, and also looking young face. I'm so happy, and it's great to serve you, and hope I will see you in the future for more activities. Thank you.
So next up, we have Dr. Le Ningzhang. He served as our third president I believe Dr. Hong Lu is going to formally introduce Dr. Zhang, and then we go from there.
Hello, everyone. Selena, please. Hello, everyone. Greetings from Las Vegas. It is an honor to introduce Professor Lening Zhang. Lening Zhang is Professor of Criminal Justice at San Francisco University. With a PhD from sociology at SUNY Albany, Professor Zhang established himself as one of the leading scholars in criminology, alcohol and drug abuse, hate crime, and China studies. He received a National Science Foundation grant for his work involving neighborhood social control in urban China. His work appeared in leading journals, including Criminology, Justice Studies, and the British Journal of Criminology. Professor Zhang is truly a trailblazer to many students of China studies. I was one of those students who benefited from his research in my early career. Back in the 1990s, research on China's criminal justice was very rare. Professor Zhang's research on Bangjiao and Tiaojie was a light bulb moment for me in terms of theory integration and adaptation of methodology. Serving as ACCJ president from 2014 to 2016, Professor Zhang organized 2 summer delegation trips to mainland China, Hong Kong, and Macau. He initiated the meet and greet session by inviting a renowned criminologist to speak at the ACCJ annual general meeting in 2016. And this gave our members an opportunity to have close interactions with influential scholars, listen to their research ideas and concerns about challenges faced by criminal justice policymakers and visions for future directions of criminology. Meanwhile, this meet and greet generated exposures for our association and helped expand memberships. President Zhang, your scholarly and service contributions to this association and to the field of China study will have a long-lasting impact on young scholars. For that, and I thank you for your leadership, integrity, and commitment. Congratulations.
Frankly speaking, I'm not really good for this administrative work. You know? It's really big surprising to receive this award, because I did not expect this award. I feel that when I served as the president of this organization, I just wanted to make some contribution to the organization. You know, it's really good organization which provides good opportunity for Chinese scholars, Chinese students in the United States to work together, to interact with one another, to inform each other for their work, their scholarship, you know. So what I can say, I just want to thank you. Sorry. Thank you to present this award to me. You know, I did not expect this award. It's really a big surprise. Thank you very much.
All right, so next up we have our Dr. Ivan Sun. In my personal opinion, Ivan is the best president so far. So
what did you say?
I believe you're the best president. I say it again. I believe it's Dr. Kailin's turn to properly introduce Dr. Ivanson.
I'm going to take off my mask. So Dr. Ivanson is professor of sociology and criminal justice at the University of Delaware with a PhD from criminal justice at SUNY Albany. Professor Sun is a prolific scholar, and you can tell by looking at his CV on his website, he has over 127 peer-reviewed publications or edited volumes, and many intramural and intramural awards. His research covers a broad spectrum of issues involving police, attitudes and behavior, public assessment of legal authorities and crime and justice in Asian societies, including mainland China, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. During his tenure as the ACCJ president from 2016 to 2018, President Sun revamped and launched a more sustainable ACCJ website. He worked on the membership drive and increased ACCJ members to 100 by 2018. So I believe that was the previous record, which was a milestone in ACCJ history. Moreover, Dr. Sun expanded the number of universities and institutions involved in the summer delegations. And for the first time in the ACCJ history, our delegation visited universities in Taiwan in 2018. Even after stepping down from the presidency, Professor Sun continued to be actively involved. He recently led the Acccj committee and drafted ACCJ impeachment and removal supplemental policies. With such leadership and dedication, Professor Sun continued to inspire young scholars, and myself included, and students to stay involved and make a difference to our association in the field of Chinese criminological studies. We thank you for your tremendous service, Dr. Sun.
Thank you, really.
Don't look at me.
Feel flattered by Kai's words. And the president and our current boss to organize this event. I take this one not for myself, all right? Not for myself as all the president, I believe that. We take this one to acknowledge our collective achievement over this past 10 years, all right? It's not my individual or any individual president's achievement. It's we made it, right? 10 years ago, what we would have thought that we can, going so far. So I want 2030, I want 2040. I hope that I can get 2050 here to celebrate our 40th years. But are we going to play the video clip?
You can talk to them.
Are we going to?
We will. Yeah, we will.
Okay, I will say that because I will say what I want to say. So, but anyway, thank you. This is for you, okay? This is not for me.
Last but not least, we have our very last president, Dr. Bill Hamilton. Bill, are you there online? I know you're staying up late there. It's probably close to 1 o'clock after midnight. So let me turn to, I believe this is Dr. Bo Jiang, who is going to formally introduce Dr. Bill Hamilton. Dr. Bo.
Hello, colleagues again. It is my great honor to introduce to you President Bill Hamilton, who is an associate professor and a research associate of the Center of Chinese Studies at the University of Manchester. He was a visiting professor at the Institute of Sociology in Taipei and at City University of Hong Kong. Professor Hamilton received research grants from various organizations, including the British Home Office, the US State Department, and the European Union, and has conducted collaborative research with agencies in Europe, as well as in Taiwan and Shanghai. As the ACCJ's 5th president from 2018 to 2020, President Hamilton provided support in organizing the summer delegations to mainland China and Hong Kong in 2019 and oversaw the planning of the ACCCJ's 10-year anniversary celebration. As part of the celebration, Professor Herbington led a team of editors to have successfully published a special issue with International Journal of Offender Therapy and Comparative Criminology in 2020. His professionalism, communication, and leadership skills were on full display during the collaborative experience. At ACCCJ's 5th online conference in 2020 during the pandemic, President Herbington chaired the first keynote speech delivered by Professor Lawrence Sherman. Through these various roles over the years, President Herbington has always been an integral part of ACCCJ. We thank you for your leadership and service to ACCCJ. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to welcome President Bill Herbington to say a few words, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Bo. This is a real, can you hear me okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this is a real kind of surprise, and as they say, sort of greetings from Manchester. It was not possible, not possible this year to be here in person, but it's so wonderful to be able to see you all via Zoom. I'm really humbled by this award, and I was thinking of that, what the psychologists call imposter syndrome, and but I want to really thank all those with whom I had the opportunity to work, many of whom are I can see in the room today, and it's been a real privilege to be a member of Acccj, and I appreciate you know, the both the award, but also in a sense over the years the friendship that I've gained from the association. I can see that Liang Bin has already achieved a lot in this his first year of service, and the organization looks as if it's moving on to even greater things. I don't want to say anything else. I know, I guess you're ready for dinner. I wish I could be there to engage in the meal as well, but thank you all very much. Thank you.
I'll hope your award until I see you next year, or maybe a year from now we'll see you. Right? Last today we have Dr. Louis and Jessica Lee. They helped us put together a PowerPoint slideshow, which allow us to reflect on the good moments and historical moments of our association in the last 10, 11 years. So that should be our last 15 minutes of today's meeting. So without further ado, I'm going to turn to who is going to play it, Dr. Jessica or Louis or Jessica? Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, President Lam. So before we start the show, I would like to show our gratitude to Professor Chow and Professor Sun. They promised us to produce this wonderful memorizing video and show to us. So really thankful. So now I'm sharing this screen. Can you guys see it? Okay. So can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So today we are so pleased to celebrate our ACCCJ, the 10th year anniversary. So here we have Professor Chow and Professor Sun to have voiceover recording online. So how are you, Professor Chow and Professor Sun?
Good. Greetings from my home in Canada.
Hello, everybody. This is Ivan Sun. Greetings from Newark, Delaware.
Okay, thank you very much. And so, Professor Chow, you are the founding president of our association, and Ivan, you're also a founding member. So, could you too tell us how did you get the idea of establishing the association?
Oh, yes. I was fortunate to be elected as the founding president. So the idea of establishing a criminological association devoted to the study of crime and its control in China has been around for a long time, at least since the late 1990s. At first, I resisted such an idea because in those days, those who wanted to have such an organization were all from mainland China. I'm a cosmopolitan person, and my idea of association is that it should be all inclusive. After I got to know Ivan Sun and Bill Habiton, who were also interested in having such an organization, I felt that time was ripe for such an organization. I devoted myself into forming the association, and I was lucky to be elected as its founding president.
Yeah, how about you, Ivan?
I want to echo what Li Qun has just said about the inclusion. Remember, this is more than a decade ago. When we formed our association, we have firmly believed that we need to be, as inclusive and as diverse as possible. We need to emphasize on equity, so everybody has the opportunity to be a member and to be success. So inclusion, diversity, and equity are really what we already have more than 10 years ago, which have become very common organizational goals for almost all higher institutions today now.
Yes, inclusion actually is very important.
Wonderful pictures.
Yes, I noticed from the picture in the AGM of 2017, some guest speakers are invited. So could you tell us more about it?
Yes, I think that the idea of inviting famous criminologists to speak and address to our general meeting, the idea was Ivan Sun's. And it took place first when Steve Messner was the past president of AAC, and Levin happened to be his former student. Later, in the second year, I think we invite Francis T. Cullen to address our meeting.
The idea is quite simple because almost all those professional conferences, you have reputable scholars, researchers serving as the keynote speakers. So we had Stephen Messner, we had Francis Collin, I think David Westberg and Ruth Peterson followed. And then we know that COVID hit us. So we definitely would love to have this, continue this in the coming meetings.
Yeah, I think it is a very good idea. Yes, in 2021, we had our first online conference, right? So how was your experience?
My own experiences is really wonderful, impressive, and under the leadership of our president, Bin Liang, and then the current board, and of course, the organizing committees collectively did an excellent job, to break the potential difficulty and the barrier caused by the COVID-19. So the conference is not just serving an excellent platform for scholars to exchange, to share their research, but also greatly reaching out to our members, non-members, all over the world. So this kind of provide us a new direction kind of event suggesting that we can have this outside, besides our annual meeting at the ASC, we can really increase our scholarly exchange, our influences over the format of online conferences.
Yeah.
Yes, I cannot agree more. This is such a great, successful event, and if there's an opportunity, we should continue.
Yeah, same here. So, to my knowledge, ACCJ organized the Outstanding Student Paper Award since 2014. It seems to me our association is so committed to nurturing junior scholars. So, am I right?
Yes, I think that with limited resources, we discussed the idea of award for quite a few years. And then we got some money from famous sociologists, and also Shan Hejiang himself donated some monies. Therefore, the award bearing his name too. And I think it was under his leadership that we first give the award. And our organization's future is with the young people. And that is why we have this junior award.
Again, this award signals our commitment to our younger scholars, our graduate student populations, by giving them recognition of excellent research work here. I have been involved in the process for quite a few years, many years now, from encouraging my own student to submit, to serve as a referee of the award committee. I personally see the quality and the quality of our award have increased drastically over those next several years, from a few submissions to now we have very strong competition, which is good, right? Which is good for our good development. We now sometimes even give not just the award winner, we also have honorable mention to a second very excellent good paper. So again, we should do whatever to maintain this award.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, some members told me they found the summer delegation very enjoyable. So could you two tell us a bit more?
Again, this is another very exciting, I think it's the highlight of our organization, particularly during the summer when we have starting, I think, from Sanghi to learning to myself, and later on to Pinliang, from a few scholar, a handful of scholars, our members, to some places we have more like 15, more than 20 participants of this event. We have been in many places, from Peking University in Beijing to Eastern China Law and Political Science in Shanghai, to Xiamen University in Fujian, in Xiamen, to Chengdu, to Chongqing, to Wuhan, many places. So that the summer delegation not just enhance our exchange activities with Chinese institutions, it also greatly increase our reputation as a leading organization in promoting Chinese criminology. But there are still many areas we haven't been visited yet, right? Like northeastern China, like southwest, other part of China, Hainan Island. There are many places waiting us to visit. So I definitely would love to see our association to continue this excellent event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can tell we went to many places, and it is really a good exposure. Okay, thank you, Professor Chow and Professor Sun. So would you like to say a few words at the end?
Yes, we have been through 10 successful years of this organization, and I wish that the tradition of all-inclusive and diversity association will continue under the new leadership, and that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Ivan, say something.
Yes, here we are celebrating our 10th anniversary, right? On the slideshow, you see the 20, 30, 40, 50s. I don't know how many decades I can be, be part of it. I truly believe that, as Li Chen has said, this association is for everybody. So let's work together to make sure the longevity of the development of our association. And I hope that I can participate maybe 2, 3 more those, decade celebration.
Yeah, thank you. So let's meet in the year of 2050, okay? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
I'll be 90 years old. If
you're 90, I'm...
Okay.
Thank you, Jessica, and Louis for putting everything together and make it available for us. It's great.
Yeah, thanks again. Thanks again, Professor Chow, Professor, especially Louis. Louis did a very good job. Yeah.
All right. So that is the end of our today's agenda. As I mentioned, we are going to try to organize more celebration activities in the years coming. Hopefully, it will be more interactive rather than one-way imposing to you guys. All right. So I would like to. I'm going to end the Zoom meeting here. Thank you, everyone, for participating. We can have a good night sleep now. And so I will let Lin Kai talk about the dinner tonight, and then I'll end the meeting.
Okay, so we are going to this place called Navy Cuisine, which is about 15 minutes walking from here. But you guys can also take an Uber and visit the price estimate, or if you really want to, you can take a subway as well. But like it should be a pretty scenic walk around the park. And have an extra copy of you.
我们定个时间吧，现在是7点半，我们7点40吧，在那个方位，大家集合之后一起走。好，
我就把这个放下来。对呀，老常，你要不要放我那？老常，你要不要放我那？还是你要？那很重，你要抬着吗？Thank you.
Okay, so bye, Liang Bin, Louis and Jessica.
Hello,
great seeing you.
So
okay.
I stop recording now. Oh, okay.